Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Unnamed Memory episode 3, and my camera is lagging for some reason. Hopefully that doesn't persist. Right, episode 3 of Unnamed Memory, in which I don't rightly know what's gonna happen. We don't really have an established storyline quite yet. Everything is fairly episodic so far, so I genuinely have no clue what's gonna happen. We'll see. In the previous episode, Tinasha and Oscar, or Tinasha in particular, heard of some sort of a calamity happening. Some monster that she sealed way back when is going to get unsealed by some mysterious organization who we know nothing about. And so she get to travel there to defeat that monster instead of just sealing it. Oscar, of course, joined her together with a bunch of elite people, elite mages, elite warriors of the country, of the kingdom, and turns out they weren't as elite as they thought to be, because a random mage appeared and just completely decimated them, or would have decimated them if Tinasha wasn't there, of course. So Tinasha continued on her own. We got a little bit of nice character growth for Oscar, where he wanted to go along with her, he wanted to join, he wouldn't take no for an answer, but changed his mind and saw that, yeah, she's probably better suited for that task, and he would probably just be a liability. Not to mention that he is the next heir of the kingdom, and if he dies, the kingdom is kind of fucked. So, you know, his life is kind of precious right now, especially since he doesn't have any descendants quite yet. So I'm glad we got that bit of character growth, character development for him. Tinasha, of course, defeated that monster, taking some losses. She got badly hurt, but the dragon got her back to the palace, and she accelerated her growth to accelerate her healing, and she apparently, supposedly, got a little older. It didn't look that way in the anime. I would really be like, you know, the meme from The Office, right? Corporate needs to find difference between those two pictures. There's no difference, except her hair is a little longer. Apparently in the light novel, it's actually mentioned how, oh, she got a little bit more mature, she got that air of maturity that Oscar found appealing, yada yada yada, stuff like that. So apparently she is supposed to look a little older, from, I don't know, 16-ish to 20-ish, something like that, probably, maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure. It's really hard to tell with characters in anime, isn't it? And yeah, that's where the episode ended. And before that, Tinasha also had some sparring with the warriors of the country, with the generals, and she is apparently also a very good swordsman. So that's cool. She's a not mage blade, spellblade. Yeah, she's a spellblade, and I very much do enjoy spellblades. I hope she actually utilizes the blade and not just the spell all this time. It would be really, really, really cool. What you guys also told me in the comments is that apparently they skipped like 200-ish pages from the light novel, where there was supposed to be what I expected there to be, right? Tinasha growing into her role, interacting with people, getting to know them, right? Tinasha and Oscar growing a little bit closer, establishing their boundaries, establishing their goals, their aspirations, yada yada yada, stuff like that. Apparently they just skipped it completely. Probably they wanted to rush this big battle with the big bad monster, and maybe this, I don't know, storyline of defeating monsters. Probably not. I don't know. They apparently just wanted to rush to this moment. The two characters that we've seen briefly by the lake doing something, I have no clue who they are. Apparently they were also already like fully properly introduced in the light novel. Like, we know who they are, what their goals are more or less, or at least we can assume that. I guess this adaptation is more so for the fans of the light novel to see their favorite moments animated rather than for newcomers and anime onlys like myself. I don't know, I might be mistaken. Plenty shows have been made that made very heavy cuts to the source material and they came out perfectly fine. So, I don't know, we'll see. As for today's episode, as I said, I've absolutely no clue what's gonna happen. We had no hook into future events in the previous episode, so I don't know. Anything can happen. So how about we just see what exactly does, right? And to do that, we'll need your subs to follow along with me, of course. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, costs you nothing, helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 3 of Unnamed Memory in 3, 2, 1, go. Cat. Oh, another familiar. I guess she decided to not cut her hair. Oh. Yeah, maybe let's not use the dagger, should we? Right. In the previous episode, Tinasha also revealed to this, like, elite bunch that she is the witch, not just the witch's pupil. Yeah, she doesn't have warts on her nose, and she doesn't live in a chicken food house. Mm, you can handle him pretty well from what I've seen so far. Yeah, I mean, that's my impression as well. You're getting along fairly well. Not like we've seen all that much of you getting in any way. But yeah, sure, from what little we've seen, it seems you're perfectly fine. Also, forgot to mention this episode. Yeah, it's gonna be late up on YouTube. Sorry for that. Unreal Engine 5.4 came out yesterday, and I was playing with it until very late, and I just kinda forgot to record yesterday, so I'm recording today. Happens. I'm sorry. Not often. They really don't release new versions of the engine often. But when they do, god damn. If you're familiar with the Matrix City demo they released way back when to demonstrate like nanite and stuff, with version 5.4, the FPS essentially doubled. That's the kind of update I like. What the forest dreams of. Oh, we finally meet the king, eh? Kinda late for an introduction. Unless we're doing a flashback. Oh, stereo. Break? No. But she can, her womb is steel. Yes, actually. Yeah, my impression as well. We have a saying in Polish, kto się czubi, ten się lubi. Those who argue like each other. Whomst. Who the fuck are those Bishonens? Yeah, what do you mean in every history? Didn't you mean in every story? Or are you like a time traveler? Yeah, you're time travelers. Who are you, Lord? I don't feel so good. Also, could you not have cast a bigger magical circle to also teleport yourself? Or whatever it is that you did? I'm assuming magical plant. The forest itself rebelling. For a reason? What is that? Yep. It's gonna suck out your juices. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, fair assumption. Toxic rain or something. Yeah, you already breathed a lot of it. I don't think running now will do anything. Especially if you just don't run just like Lazar. Tinasha? No, someone else. Another witch? A dryad, guardian of the woods? Someone like that? Vials, an herbalist. Yeah, that looks like an herbalist hut. Who is she? Yeah, very good question. A witch of the woods? Yeah, witch of the forbidden forest. Witches are way more common than I thought. Can't throw a stone to not hit a witch. Oh, so you become a witch. Interesting. I thought it's like, you're born a witch or You just happen to be born a witch, or it's hereditary or something like that. But no, apparently you can become a witch as well. Yeah? No, he just needs a wife. Yeah, Lazar's gonna become a liability one day, isn't he? Spirit Sorcerer. Is this something special? Yeah. Oh, well, shit. Yeah, that's kind of big obstacle, isn't it? Hmm. Okay, so it's not something like usually where she completely loses her magic. It just diminishes ever so slightly. Interesting. How about you marry him? I mean, there seems to be plenty of witches to go around. Mind control? What did you do? Say what you just did with this green barrier first. I don't think it was anything malicious, but a little bit of an explanation would be in order, right? Oh, and the dragon is just chilling with him now, I guess. No, we haven't stepped, a single step out of the palace. Nothing whatsoever happened. The dragon really likes the monster stone. It's the scent of another witch! Or magical aura of another witch. You should trust your instincts more, Tinasha. Okay, what's wrong with him? Something is, I would assume. Yeah, your eyes are kind of getting blurry for someone who gets enough sleep. It wasn't nothing, my dude. Yeah, I really don't like the see something strange. Oh, it was nothing. Mm. I mean, if I were to see a mirage of someone, I probably would, be like, oh, shit, I ate something bad. I'm having hallucinations right now. Yeah. But if magic and spirits and ghosts and shit existed, I'd be like, shit, that's a ghost. Probably trying to tell me something. It ain't nothing. She's not jealous whatsoever. Oh, the forest witch is a succubus, isn't she? Or she used the green thing to summon a succubus. Or some other explanation for a succubus. Yeah, it's just your nose, girl. Oh? She knows it's the Witch of the Forest. She realized, didn't she? She absolutely did. Not even out of love, just out of fear. You met a witch! You dense motherfucker! Of course it's important. Yeah. Yeah, so Succubus. Just like a mental succubus. You calm yourself to death in your sleep. That's a spell, alright. To her, at least. I'm guessing Lucrezia cast it precisely in the way to for you to be the only one who can smell it. Shit, really? Oh, you're gonna like enter his dreams or something? Probably. An old manor. Lucrezia's voice? Or someone else? No, Tinasha. Yeah, I mean, figures that it would be Tinasha in his dreams. Time for the depraved act of hugging. And throttling her. I guess that's what he's into subconsciously. Wasn't it supposed to be a succubus spell? Or is it Tinasha controlling his hands? And this is the succubus. Oh, that's a nice cut. Well, that was easy. Really? Debatable. I love how she just doesn't bother walking. She just flies everywhere. Time for a friendly visit. Yeah, true. One hell of a greeting. I guess she knew that you're gonna be able to lift that curse. Akasha? What would that be? Access to Akashic records or something? Mm-hmm. Assuming you can break it. Okay, sure. How the fuck did you extract them? In his sleep? Hoarding? You call that hoarding? Uh... Yeah, probably. Let's be honest. Is that a dream? Everything's bloomy. Maybe not. She's acting awful meek, though. Okay, that's the episode. It seems like we really are going to be doing the whole, like, event of the week kind of deal, right? That's the vibe I'm getting here. Event of the week thing with their relationship just slowly progressing in the background until maybe by episode 6 ish, we start some sort of an overarching plot. Maybe. That's usually how it goes. We'll see. Actually, anything after credits? I don't know, maybe. And then, yeah, just a preview. A breath of life into image. I guess event of the next week is gonna be like a talking painting or something, probably. Let's watch this episode again, though. cat with a very weird face, but a cat nonetheless. Yeah, cutting her hair. Witches are frightening. Yes, they are. If they want to be, because, I mean, they have their own free will. If a witch wills to destroy a nation, she can. If she does not will to destroy a nation, she won't. It's not like they're forces of nature. So Tinasha, if she doesn't want to destroy a nation, she just won't. Unless we know that, I don't know, witches have a destiny for destruction or some other bullshittery like that. She doesn't like being forced into bed. And she can't handle Oscar. Debatable. Really, honestly, debatable. And now we know who she is. Lucrezia. And there's this weird green-eyed motherfucker who is, I don't know, Tinasha's former master, Tinasha's ex, Tinasha's nemesis. I don't know. He's someone. Yeah, this is a flashback, isn't it? It has to be. Because for Oscar to introduce Tinasha only now, that would be a little bit late, I would say. Or maybe it is an introduction after the jig was up already, like she initially introduced her as the pupil of the witch, and now he's introducing her as the witch. I don't know. There's a limited amount of people here, so maybe to this select few he introduced her properly as the witch, and to everybody else he introduced her as the witch's pupil. Maybe. Lazar already knows that she's a full-blown witch. I don't know. Yeah, those two. We're lucky that she sustained a serious wound after defeating the demonic beast, so this happens after. This is not a flashback. That's how we managed to get our hands on this, on some weird red crystal. But the dragon, Tinasha's dragon, also has a weird red crystal. That I assume is the crystal of the demonic beast. Or is it a completely unrelated crystal and this is the beast's crystal that they stole? I don't know. I have no clue who he is. She's been searching for you for so long. In every history, you treat her with such arrogance. History, specifically, not story. Not like, you know, they heard stories and legends, and in every single legend, in every single story, he's being a dick. But no, in every history specifically, which would imply time travel. Yeah, come on. So Valt and Miralis are time travelers, right? Valt and Miralis through Y, not I. Valt and Miralis are time travelers or time guardians, something to that effect. The strongest of the witches. Nothing more than a bystander. Could it be that they're just observers of history? I don't know. We help bring about events that should occur. Right, so it does seem like there's some sort of guardians of destiny or whatever. There is a preordained plan, divine plan for something to happen, and they ensure that this plan happens. I know, kind of weird. Kind of a little weird, I guess, but sure, we're getting into the whole whatchamacallit, destiny versus free will, right? How much of what happened in the world was because of them and their ilk? How much of it happened because it actually happened, right? Did they help Oscar behind the scenes, maybe because he was supposed to meet Tinasha, right? Just how deep does it go? Does it go only to, the big events? For example, a war between two nations has to happen, and one of those nations has to win for the world at large to remain stable, so they ensure that it happens? Or does it go tiny little and granular to the point where, oh, that particular wheat field is supposed to burn to give a little bit of famine to that village, to make the villagers a little bit more introduce a little bit of unrest so that they can rebel against the Lord and stuff like that? Where does it stop? Where does their interference stop, I wonder? That girl is special to me, said the mysterious stranger. Why is she important to you? Is she not of Val's kind? Is she different? I don't know. I have no clue. Is she special somehow? Bile Forest. Yeah. Of course, man-eating plants. That was exactly to be expected. Let's run for it. And thus, Lazar proceeds to not run. He's really a liability, isn't he? And here we meet Lucrezia, the Witch of the Forbidden Forest, who seems to know Tinasha fairly well. Spirit sorcerers are unique in that they must remain pure. And here I thought, oh shit, we get some real conflict, right? Because it's not only a matter of Tinasha being reluctant because she's a tsundere, but also she's being reluctant because she will lose her magic. She will become a regular, normal human being. She will cease to be a witch. Is she prepared to give that up? First question. Second question, if they have sex and she becomes a a regular human being, will she withstand the curse, right? Maybe she's not able to withstand that curse precisely because she will lose her purity, lose her magic. We are introduced to, another very nice bit of conflict. Is she prepared to, forgo her magic in the name of having a child with Oscar? Is Oscar prepared to expect that of her, right? Or will he change his tune? Does he value having an heir and having a wife above Tinasha's will to have magic? A lot of conflict can be introduced here. But then we learn that, magical power needed to perform spirit magic increases dramatically. And with her power, it's just not gonna make a difference. So just kind of forget it. It's not really a plot point anymore because it's not gonna make much of a difference. She might be a little bit weaker. She might not be able to destroy a large nation anymore, but like a large-ish nation, that's still fair game. She can summon a volcano and be done with it, but she's not going to be able to wipe out a continent, so a little bit of a nerf to her. Yeah, we'll just kind of completely discard that entire plot point. I can help you, and she helps with weird succubus magic, apparently. And Oscar, of course, does not question it whatsoever. Not one single bit does he question it. Tinasha notices something, and she does not question it for a bit either. He sees something, and he just does not question it, just completely discards it. Tinasha notices something's off, but she just completely discards it. Well, I guess she has the theory that he has a lover, but that's about it. Again, as I said, it would be fine to discard events like that and just completely, hand wave them if stuff like that has no, possibility of happening, right? If I were to notice a person sitting right there behind my screen, like a tiny little duende dude, and I would blink and the duende is no longer there, I'd be like, shit, I'm hallucinating. I know I'm under the weather. I might have a little bit of a fever. Maybe I ate something bad. Maybe it's my medicine doing it. Yada yada yada. Right? I would rationalize it and just hand wave it if it never happened again. But if I knew that little semi-translucent duendes were actually running around the world, I'd be like, shit, they got into the house again. I need to close the window because they're probably going through the window, right? I did not dismiss it because it's something that actually happens. If I see ants getting into my tea, I'm like, yeah, shit, it's normal. There are ants in the fucking building. Of course they're gonna be getting into my tea. I just grab them and crush them up and be done with it. I would not dismiss it. In a world without ants, someone would just dismiss it like, oh, I don't know what the fuck they are, but they just kind of went away. Whatever, it doesn't matter, right? I'm really not a fan of just easy hand-waving, easy dismissal of things that in the end up being actually important. I'm just glad that they're dealing with it very quickly. Because very often the hand-waving is coupled with hand-waving it for long periods of time, right? Oh, I noticed that the member of our party is behaving weirdly. I didn't get enough sleep. I must be, seeing things. And then in 8 episodes, that member of the party just starts slaughtering the party because it's a skinwalker. That's not great. I don't like that. But if we deal with that in the very same episode, sure, I guess. I can live with that. Oscar seeing another version of Tinasha. I don't know what that was about. Was it him seeing Tinasha from the dream? Was it him seeing an echo of Tinasha from the past as she walked those very halls with his grandfather? I don't know. Could be significant, could be insignificant. Could be significant but solved in this very episode, so not sure about that. He reeks of lingering perfume, and she is the only one who can smell it, and she already knows immediately who did it. She gets very angry. I like this little demonstration of a witch's power. I like it. Like, this entire time we are told that, oh, witches can level nations. And then she just gets bitten by a overgrown wolf, and yeah, maybe she's not actually that powerful. And then she gets angry and the whole building starts rambling. Yeah, she is. She might actually be as powerful. Kind of inconsistent, maybe, a little bit, but sure. I still like this little scene as a manifestation of her strength. Showcase of her strength, rather. Who would cheat on that? Very good question. Because I didn't think it was a big deal. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm not a huge fan of Oscar, to be honest with you. I really don't like how completely and absolutely blasé he is about everything and anything. It might be a plot point that, I know, he has a psychological condition where he is physically unable to feel fear or something like that, maybe. But it's not actually being explained in any such way. Maybe the witch of silence silenced his his bloodline and silenced his emotions at the same time. Something like that, maybe. I would be fine with that, but we have no explanation. So he just kind of seems like a, I don't know, like an idiot crossed with an inconsiderate asshole. Honestly, that's how he comes off as. I was kind of hopeful in the previous episode when he decided, yeah, actually, Tinasha, you are right. You should go after this big monster, and I have other things to do, right? I have to be the heir to the crown because there are no other heirs right now, and there won't be if we don't break the curse. And I need to be alive to have an heir for that. After I have a kid, I can throw my life away if I want to, but I have to have a male, probably, child to take my place eventually, right? I would understand that. And I was hopeful that that's kind of where he's heading. That Tinasha will temper him a little bit and he will take the whole situation seriously, but he's like, no, Tinasha doesn't let me throw my life away, and I really want to go bungee jumping. Why won't she allow me to go bungee jumping and paragliding? Is my life really that important? Yes, motherfucker, it is. You're the next in line to the throne. And, oh, I met a witch, but it's like, whatever. She did weird magic thing to me, and I'm getting tired recently, but... Oh, I'm sure it's nothing. I'm not gonna mention that because it's nothing. I really don't like that. I really don't. Oscar is really getting on my nerves. And then, oh, it can kill me. Oh, it's dangerous. Witches are dangerous? I wouldn't have thought. At least he's like willing to go with Tinasha's plan, so that's good, I guess. And then he's angry with Tinasha that she ordered him to save himself. It really seems to me like he's borderline suicidal. It really honestly seems to me that way. And not only that, but he's also carrying Lazar with him at all times, so that at any given time he could just commit a fucking murder-suicide. Really. It seems that way at times. I love how Tinasha is always flying and never actually walking. It would be bad to introduce a witch's blood. So is being a witch hereditary, or is it something that you can become? Lucrezia mentioned that she knew Tinasha from the moment she became a witch, so I would assume you become a witch. But then she says witch's blood, which makes me believe witches are like a different race of human, or just a different species altogether. I don't know, which is it? The Witch of Silence. Breaking that will take some work, so she still proposes to break it rather than work around it. His blood and sperm, why? Why do you need those? I don't know. This scene also kind of lacked clarity, if I'm to be honest with you. Like, eventually I understand that, yeah, it's actually what happened, and we're getting basically shoujo bloom on top of it. But usually the visual language of anime is that if we see bloom, that means it's a dream or a memory. Either of those, but in this particular case, it's just shoujo bloom. They're just having a tender moment, and especially with Tinasha behaving so weirdly, right? Like, approaching him and Oscar being like, come. Like, it's a fucking 50 Shades of Grey, and his approach now, stop right there. sit down on the bed now. And she's like, yes, master, certainly, master. I'm getting whiplash here. I'll be honest, I really got whiplash in this scene. That's why I immediately assumed it's a dream. It's a dream, hallucination, something like that. Maybe Tinasha imagines how it would be to approach him, and he lays her down in bed and they start doing the deed, and she flushes red and, oh no, Lucrezia-san, what kinds of ideas are you putting in my head? Or something like that. That's what I expected. When did she become so comfortable with him to sit in his lap and hug him? I don't know. Like, I'm glad that they, clear the air between each other, right? Everybody apologized for behaving badly. I'm glad about that. I'm happy about that. But it really seems, I don't know, uncharacteristic for Tinasha and uncharacteristic for Oscar. It really seems out of character a little bit. Maybe it's another case of skipping through 17 chapters of the light novel, and this happens like a year after they've been together already, or, well, not a year, but like a month or 2 months or something. I don't know. I really just got whiplash here, though. That much I do know. And the next episode is titled A Breath of Life into Image. So probably waking up some sort of a painting and talking to the character from the painting, Harry Potter style. Maybe. We'll see, of course. Alright. So, that was a decent episode. Overall, sure. I like the introduction of Lucrezia. I like a little bit of growth in their relationship. Yeah, those little bits I do like, but I don't know. Oscar starts to irritate me. I'm gonna be honest with you. He really does start getting on my nerves. Did they ever solve the problem of the village being overrun by blood-sucking plants, or did they just completely skip that arc? Like, it was shown in the light novel, but in the anime they just completely skipped over that. I don't know. On the surface, it was fine. I enjoyed it. Sure, yeah. But as you start, looking at it and analyzing it a little bit, it kind of just falls apart at times. I might be the one misunderstanding what's happening. Maybe. Entirely plausible. But I am getting the feeling that they're just kind of, fast forwarding through the original story a little bit. And I just don't know to what end. Is there some big, huge event that they really have to show for the finale of this show? That they want to squeeze in like 7 volumes of the light novel? Or what's going on there? Because I'm honestly not sure. Something's going on there. That much I am certain of. What exactly? I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. Anything else about this episode? Yeah, what's the deal with those, like, Destiny Keepers? Valt and Minalis. We don't know anything about them. They're just kind of in the background. I'm assuming they're gonna be our introduction to like the main continuous storyline, right? After we're done with the event of the week kind of thing, then Minalis, I guess, gets tied in with Oscar and Tinasha and their entire story, and they're gonna have to save this reality from crumbling or some shit like that. Maybe that's where it's headed. Right now it's just kind of disjointed. And it actually does kind of feel like even the main plot, the main events of this show are kind of maybe not disjointed, but it legitimately feels like we're getting week-long time skips between even some scenes, let alone episodes. I'm still enjoying it though, so I'll keep watching, of course, but something's up with this adaptation is all I'm gonna say right now. And I guess that's gonna be it from me for today, but maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode. If so, say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? No spoilers, please, I beg of you. Spoilers can go to my Discord here, also in the description below. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Unnamed Memory, but also Yuki Yuna, Sentai Daishikaku, Kaito Otome, Blue Archive, and plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of future episodes. Already said that. Click the bell to be notified when I go live, because I do stream sometimes. And support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Yuki Yuna, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube via membership, super thanks, super chats, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Net, Survivor, Watson, Zarian, Yuki, Ala, Ishtamu, Dr. Watt, Akamaser, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them as well without having to meet the Witch of the Forest.